Good morning, guys. Today is April 11, 2017, and it is a Tuesday. We do have a short week this week just because of Good Friday. So we got about 3 more days, including today, from trading for this week. Gotta take advantage of it. Gotta make sure that we wait for some A quality setups, and without hesitation, just move in and let the trade play out. So that's the plan for the day. Wait for A quality setups, and not jump into anything else. Obviously, that's easier said than done, but we're gonna try our best today. So where we at today with our watch list, morning watch list, we got CBIO, has a float of 760,000, so very low float, below 1 million, which is amazing. In the past, as you guys can see here, it has gone from, 7s all the way up to 18. So, this is a stock that can really move. Right now it's up about 15%, but, for this stock, a dollar is just, excuse me, I have a really bad throat. For this, a point is nothing major. This stock has gone basically 10 points in a day, so this can definitely move up. One of our top watch for today, it has a catalyst out that they reached a key milestone, so that's something that's good. Pre-market high is 695. It could have potential, but we'd like to see a pullback towards the support. So I would like to see it build some support. I wouldn't mind getting in on this for red to green move. I would like to see it maybe come down to the 650s. Once it opens, hold that, and then as it pushes through, maybe 670s, 680s, I would like to jump in for the break of the pre-market high 695. And then if you can get a break of 7, the target basically would be, back of the mind target would be about 750. So I feel like it could, that's something that it could, possibly achieve. Next one we have is TNXP. TNXP has a float of 3.79 million. It reports results for positive results for some sort of FDA study for post-traumatic stress disorder. So once the news came out this morning, it went up to 690. Now it's kind of hanging around this range here. What I would like to see here is hold this 550 level. Again, for this, something similar to CBIO, a red to green move would be awesome. Hold this 550 level, go up towards the 6. If it doesn't do red to green, I would like to get in for the break of 6. If it breaks on really good volume, it looks like it has strength, I would like to jump in for the break of 6. Potential target would be 650, or the back of the mind target would be the pre-market high of 690. So that's something else we're looking at. Next one we have is AKER. AKER has a float of 4.4 million. It does move in 5 cents increments, so it's something to keep in mind. Pre-market high is 210, and a 200 moving average on this stock is 236. So it does have it reported earnings today, so it does have news, but for earnings I would like to maybe see a dip below, and then I'd like to get in on a dip of some sort of support level. But other than that, this is something I'm just kind of keeping an eye on. NADL is the play pre-market. It's been running almost up about 180% on the day. Has a float of 6.97 million. They announced a bit long-term contract awards. So they got new long-term contract. This company, so they're moving a lot pre-market. What I'm looking for this is potential red to green move on this. I would like to see it dip down at the open and then rip through. So that's something I'm looking for on this. Not gonna get in anywhere above 2 here just because it's already up so much. Excuse me. I'd like to see it maybe come down to the 170s here, the 50 moving average. And hold that level, and then potentially look to get back in as it goes, maybe for the break of 2, but not gonna buy if it opens above 2 and continues to run, because I feel like it's already up so much. It needs some sort of a solid pullback or consolidation period. So that's pretty much it for pre-market, guys. I will come back once the market's open. I'm gonna try to keep you guys more in involved during my play today, so the video might be a bit longer than it usually is, but that's all right, just because I feel like it's better if before I jump into a trade, if I can kind of talk about my thought process rather than just jumping in and then bring you guys in and be like, oh, I'm in this, and let's see what happens. No, I want to bring it up before I even jump in, and then because then when I talk to myself, or while I'm recording and I listen to what I'm about to do, it kind of makes more sense whether I should do it or not, rather than just kind of like looking at a chart and then just jumping the gun. I think it'll be better for me if I can just talk about my plan, and that's one of the reasons I started this documentation of my trading, just because I wanted to be able to talk to myself and get in my own head, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We'll come back once the markets are open, or once I'm looking for a once I'm seeing a setup that looks to be good, then I'll bring you guys in. Alright guys, so the market's open. NADL is just exploding, but again, as we talked about, this is not something we're gonna get into right off the bat here, just because we want to make sure that it can pull back. Getting in here basically is just gonna be asking for trouble. CBIO opened at 651. And it's getting up there. TNXP opened at 578. So we're just watching. Again, with NADL, as you guys can see, 273 is the high of this candle. And now it's kind of pulling back here. So let's see what happens here. Okay, CBIO is dropping, TNXP is dropping. They're both going down. AKER is not doing anything. Now, with NADL, as you guys can see, the first candle had a long wick, the top wick, so that means it got pushed down. And now, as you guys can see, it's getting stuffed at 260. So potentially, like to see a pullback on this. TNXP is in the 530s, CBIO is in the 630s. So both of those basically are dropping. It opened at 651. So we'll watch for that. Again, NADL, too overextended, not buying here. If it does start running, if it does start to run, then we'll look for a pullback and maybe we can get in on the break of 3. But getting in here is just not the smartest thing to do. CBIO is a little choppy right now. TNXP, it opened at 578, so potential buy could be 580 for the red to green move on that. Okay, it's running. NADL is running. But as you guys probably can't see this, but on the 15 minutes and 20 minutes, there's no pullback. It's just been green. So keeping all those things in mind. TNXP is dropping more. Keeping all those things in mind, we don't want to. Okay, CBIO is coming up, so that's something I'm interested in. Ooh. Let's see what happens here. It was a good red to green move. Okay, I'm gonna try to get in at 688 here. Okay, we'll just take it off for now. just because it could, I mean, there's lots of volume came in. So the good move again was the red to green move here on basically right here when it came back up. So let's see if it pulls back here. NADL is in the 250, so it's pulling back now. So we'll just be watching. We'll be watching CBIO here, see what happens. Now it's in the 660s, so that's why I kind of took off my my order, just because I wanted to see what happens here. On the 5 minute, it looking on the 5 minute, it just went red. So it just went red on the day again. TNXP is in the 520s. See what happens with TNXP. NADL is pulling back now, it's in the 240s. I'll wait for the next candle on CBIO. If the next candle makes a high, so this is 668, 669, 670. So basically I'll wait for the next candle. If the next candle makes a high and volume comes back in, I'll look to jump in. Kind of have it at 680 here. And if I jump in at 680, guys, my exit would be, you know, 10-cent stop loss. Or actually in this, I'll have to probably give it 20-cent stop loss. And then see what happens here. Pulling back. NADL in the 220s now, so 287 was the high, so good thing I didn't jump in anywhere there. TNXP is red on the day, not doing much. I'm just waiting for it to come over the 580 mark. We're waiting for CBIO. Now CBIO, I'm just a little nervous just because it's keep going red. There you go, went red again. Now it's it's just dropping. So 626. Let's see if 625 holds. $625 is the low, so let's see if that holds, because then we'll get double bottom, and that's something we can jump in for. Okay, I'm gonna try to jump in there. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not gonna jump in, just because it's not a quality setup. I mean, although it double bottom, we'll see if the candle makes a new high here, 645. So we'll see if candle does make a new high. Maybe 646 could be a potential entry point for us here. We'll definitely want to see some volume coming to here. TNXP is dropping. NADL is holding that 220 level. You know, on 5 minutes CBIO is red. You know what I would potentially like on this is a red to green move. Red to green move 651. Oh, 625 looks like. Oh, there you go. So it just took out support 625. Let's bring up NADL. NADL just took out support at 220. So, but we're not gonna. We know CBIO is something that could still possibly run. That's what sometimes happen with this stock. You know, it goes, and then if it goes green again, it could potentially just rip, because people can start covering on that. So other than that, dries is just whatever. Let's bring up NADL. Let's see what's going on with that. NADL just pulling back on the 5 minute as well. On the 1 minute, it's red. It opened at 246. So I'm just gonna see if 248 maybe, and then we'll put 200 shares there. Let's go back to CBIO. Let's see. I don't want to miss that if it does start popping here. So with CBIO, of course, I'm only looking for 100 shares, nothing too much there. Again, guys, the game of plan today is look for a quality setup. So red to green move is something that I do have a higher success rate. And see what's plug doing. Plug is moving, but a lot. It has 91 million shares, so probably pretty high up there. NADL we're just watching on 1 minute here. CBIO, it's pulling back. Maybe we could get a 5 minute setup here on this 640, and then I'll definitely jump in on the red to green move. So 651, 652 is the potential entry point on this if it fails to break. NADL just looks like a short play because it's moved a lot pre-market, so I feel like people are just kind of shorting this now. TNX fee is not doing anything. AKER is not doing anything. So they're just watching. Just nothing on the scanners yet either. We're obviously not going to trade plug just because, like I said, it has over 190 million shares. Okay, I'm just gonna pause the video. I'll bring you guys back in. Sorry, the 18 minutes. I don't want it to be super long for you guys, but we'll see. Alright guys, so nothing else is doing anything right now. NADL is basically dropping. CBIO is dropping. That's not doing anything either. So basically what we have is PA CBIO starting to come up here, but what we have is this one right here, PYDS. It has a float of about 5 million or so. It just got halted, so basically we're waiting to see what happens when it comes out of the halt. Want to see where it opens. It'll be coming out in about a couple minutes here, so we'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind jumping in. Okay, I tried jumping in at 233, nothing. So I'll just take my order off here. You don't want to get, maybe we'll wait for a pullback here. Could be potential good. If you can get a good pullback, it could potentially, we'll see what happens here. Let's see if we can get a 37. Okay, so there you go. Highest 260. Wouldn't mind it pulling back. Wouldn't mind a second candle pulling back. But if nothing else is moving, so based on that, I feel like this could potentially run. We didn't get a clean pullback there. I wanted to see it pull back a little more before I jumped in. Basically, I wanted to jump in for 240 and then look for a push back up to 260. So now we'll see what happens here. Maybe we can get some sort of a flag here. Okay, I just got in 251, I think it was. As it made a new high. Might be the wrong play here, guys. But I'm not gonna sell here. I'm gonna wait to see. So I got in at 251. I'll wait to see what happens here. Okay, not good. This is not good, guys. I got in way too high and I'm still holding. I'm down 20 cents here. Ah, man. Let's see what happens here. So let's see if we can get back up. I got it on that 1 minute micro pullback. Let's see what happens here. If this candle can get over 252 here, 253. See what happens here. I mean, the stock definitely has strength. Okay, I'm gonna bail out here. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad, guys. I'm in from 251. In from 251. So let's see what happens here. See if you can get out at 224. I don't know how to manage this right now, guys. Starting to come back up. Let's see what happens here. See if he can get back up. Let's see if he can get back over 240. Man, I'm gonna try to get out here 223. Okay, I got some. I still have 196. 196. That's me sitting at 223 there. There you go. Just got taken out. Obviously not what I expected. I thought the stock had strength, so I jumped in. Did try to manage my risk. I didn't want to just bail out. Now see, it's 229, 230. Look at that. It's just, I don't know why it's always like that. Look, it's coming right back up. No, $56, guys, just on that one trade. You know, when I jumped in here at 251, it instantly popped to 265, and I was like, you know what? Looks like this has strength, and then it just started dropping. Although it's holding this 9 EMA, but we don't want to jump in here now. Do want to see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video. I'll come back in a bit. Alright guys, so nothing else that I see you know, that stands out here. Even on the scanners here, nothing really standing out. BLTO, you know, just kind of doing whatever. Eyes, UIES started popping up here, and you know, nothing crazy there as well. I jumped in on PYDS. In hindsight, wasn't a good trade. First, when I jumped in, I was just like, why? Like, why would it, you know, why would it drop? Like, why wouldn't it, you know, when this made a new high, like, why? You know, it had strength. As soon as I jump in, it drops. But it's funny because right before this move happened, I saw this candle and I was like, nope. You know, I was looking in the 240s for the next candle to make a new high, and I was like, no, I don't like this pullback. It wasn't a clean pullback, so I'll wait. But then as this candle started popping up and it went over 250, I jumped in for the $0.50 break. You know, lots of volume came in on this candle, so I jumped in, you know, thinking that, okay, if this gets over this candle, some micro pullback here, gets over 250, you know, takes out this I think high was 260 here, and it did. It instantly took it out, went over to 265, and then it just had a rejection. It just couldn't, you know, went below 250. This candle tried popping up again, couldn't, came back down. I should have got out at 241. I should have only had a 10-cent stop loss. I should have only risked 10 cents, because if I was getting in on a move like this, it shouldn't have dropped, you know, 10 cents from my entry. It should have just either held that 250 level and then continue moving up, or it could have, you know, came down to the 245s, you know, to whatever, and then, you know, continue moving up. But the reason I held it, because I thought that, okay, if it tests back this 5 EMA, the next candle will probably, you know, make a new high. And it was just basically lots of hoping, lots of, you know, not seeing what the market's telling me. I had my own preset mind that, okay, this is what's going to happen, and obviously that's not what happened. So, you know, looking back, how I could have avoided this loss is not jump in on this 250 break. Although, you know, it on some other days this would have been a good entry. You know, if let's say if I didn't jump in and you know, this happened and it went to like 280s 290s, I would have been like, oh man, look at this pullback. Would have been a perfect entry, you know, with lots of volume and everything. But, you know, this wasn't a clean pullback. This wasn't like, you know, two candles back to the 9 EMA and then makes a new high and then rips. It was already up near its high. You know, it rips a little and then it basically just fails. So on stock like this, I need to have a hard stop loss of, you know, 10 cents, 11 cents max. I can't jump in and risk, you know, I mean, I'm jumping in with 200 shares, guys. So for me to lose, you know, $56, that means, you know, what was my exit was 223. I lost, you know, 28 cents. I lost 28 cents on, I lost 28 cents on 200 shares, and that, you know, that's just not great. It's, you know, risk management is not there. You know, I need to have a hard stop loss. I need to know what the market is telling me. If it goes below 250 and it just can't keep running, I need to get out, even if I get out at 235, right? It's better than getting out at 223. So I need to have better risk management. When I see the stock dropping, I need to just basically cut my losses. You know, I felt like on this I was kind of holding and hoping that it'll start turning around here, and then I finally ended up getting out once these candles just weren't, you know, getting back up to the, you know, 250s or whatever. So in hindsight, I could have avoided this loss. I could have managed this better. When I first got in, I was actually very upset. I was just like, oh, so as soon as I jump in, the stock is just going to drop, despite all this volume that just came in. But I didn't consider all these other factors, like, it's already went up from the 130s up to the 260s. It might needs a bit more pullback, might needs a solid 5-minute pullback or some sort of consolidation level before it's ready to move again. If this move would have happened down here, in the 150s, if I would have jumped in for the break of 150, maybe it had potential to actually pull this move, back up to the 2s and even 250s. But if I'm jumping in, that when it's already up about a point, I need to manage my risk better. I need to have a tight stop loss, and I need to stick to that stop loss. So hindsight, always things are different. I took some time, looked at my trade, and I was like, realized, it's not market's fault. I should have traded that better. I should have managed my risk better. I should have known when to get out. I should have known when not to get in. Actually, would have been the first step of risk management. Considering all those things, the trade itself was not a good trade, despite especially when I said that this pullback wasn't clean, I can't jump in, and then I decided to jump in on the next candle even higher than, if I would have jumped in at 240, maybe I would have got out at 260, right? Or even 250 when I saw it was failing. But, what can you do? Those are the things that I gotta kind of learn and get used to and get better at. Obviously, losses like these for my small account are not great. Once you have a bigger account and you lose $56, that's fine, because your next good trade when you're buying 1,000, 2,000 shares, you're gonna make $400 or $500, right? So it balances out. But when you're only trading 200 shares, and if you lose more than you make, in sense wise, it ends up causing you a lot of grief. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll come back tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll watch out for this stuff. We'll learn from this and move on, and come back stronger tomorrow, and keep these little things in mind. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.